Why, hello there.
Why?
It's about that time where I become a Southern gentleman
I wasn't prepared.
and Alec and Dave talk about shit.
I wasn't prepared for that to be the opening.
I know. I just wanted to make you laugh.
Well, hello.
I knew I could get you.
Well,
Why, hello there.
hello, listen. Some,
This is one of those moments where we're not actually that funny, but we think we're hysterical. That's what this is.
yeah. Some of you may know I just moved to Austin, Texas. And I've already started talking like this. It's been 28 days since I moved to Austin, Texas. And that's some foreshadowing for you.
That's not. This isn't a Texan accent though, man.
Not.
This isn't Texan. This is like Georgia.
Maybe Georgia. There's some nasalness to it that I'm putting in there too. I know where that comes from. Exactly. But that's some foreshadowing because we're going to talk about the sequel to 28 Days Later. Later on in this podcast, and I'm going to say
that's from Britain. That's not from the South. What are you talking about?
As I said, I've been. Why am I still doing that? Because I said I've been in Texas for 28 days. That was the foreshadowing for 28 days.
Oh, I totally missed that.
Yeah.
Anyways, welcome to our podcast that no one watches and that we may or may not upload.
Yeah.
Who knows? I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever.
We might not do anything with this. Yeah.
We might. No one will ever see this ever, so it doesn't matter.
Welcome to
this is where we talk about shit and we talk about things that we like or dislike about it. That's it. That's the podcast. I know.
Yeah.
We're geniuses.
Yeah.
No
one thought of that before.
No. we are original.
We're original. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I was just thinking, have you seen? Wait. First off, we need to go back to the first episode.
Yes.
Did you watch Ben Affleck in the Criterion Closet?
No, forgot about that too. I completely forgot. It's like we had that conversation and we made a game plan, and then I was like, all right, back to work, and just everything left my brain immediately.
Just gone. All right, well, we're going to talk about that someday.
Yep.
That is going to be a topic of conversation for us someday.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, have you seen any movies recently?
I have seen a few movies recently, yeah. I recently also, because this year I really have not been going to see as many movies. Usually do. Partially because I moved away and you go see every movie with me. And partially because I did, plan a wedding and move across the country. So that kind of took up a lot of my time. But I started an actual list again of movies I've seen. I've only seen 15 movies this year, new movies.
I don't know if I've seen much more than that.
Really? Okay. All right. Cool. That makes me feel better because I looked at 15 and I was like, it's like almost July. That's pretty low, For all.
I have seen 22.
22. Okay. All right. That's not bad. Then. I feel better about the 15 because you generally see a little more than. But yeah, like my total list from last year was like 70 something or maybe 80 almost films. So like 15 at the halfway point was like this doesn't look good. But things I saw recently, Karate Kid Legends. Do not recommend Karate Kid Legends.
I will not be seeing that movie. I can promise you that.
Yeah. Don't recommend it. Just watch Karate Kid or the Jackie Chan Karate Kid with one of the Smith children, Jaden Smith, I think, as the Karate Kid.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, see either one of those. Those are both better movies than Karate Kid Legends. And then I saw Dangerous Animals, a movie about a serial killer who uses sharks to kill people. That was actually pretty good. But you know, it doesn't like elevate above the premise of that in any way. It's just kind of fun. And then I saw Phoenician Scheme, which is currently in my top 3 of the year. And I would say, actually, question for you: do you have yours ranked? Your current list of films that you've seen so far?
I I have them ranked? Come on, of course I do.
I stole this idea from you, of course. So I was just making
Yeah.
sure. We were both still doing it. Yeah. So currently, I have Phoenician Scheme 3 behind Black Bag and Bring Her Back. So
I
that's where I got it.
I have also seen Bring Her Back.
Yeah.
It is an excellent movie,
hmm
and I hated every second of it. I absolutely hated it. And
Yeah.
it made me feel so uncomfortable, so anxious
Oh my god.
the whole time. And I hated it.
Mhm.
I hated the way it made me feel.
Yeah.
I hated the beginning. I hated the end. I hated that movie. But I have absolutely nothing bad like
It's exactly how.
it is the best movie I've ever hated this much.
Yeah. 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 I'm getting like flashbacks to when we saw The Northman. Is that how you feel about this?
Yes.
Yeah.
That is it's very similar.
Okay.
Very similar. But yeah, that movie is not for me.
Yeah.
That is
Where it's like, this is the most violent and visceral thing I've seen, and it hits everything it wants to do, and is an incredible film. I'm speaking about Northman and Bring Her Back, frankly. And I
and
need to
I
watch it again.
hated it.
And
Never again.
yeah,
So
yeah.
Bring Her Back. Bring Her Back is like the highest ranked. So I have all of the bad movies
Mhm.
on my list. And then I have Bring Her Back just on top of all of those.
Mhm.
Just to be like, it's a good movie. It's a factually good movie. And I never ever want to see it ever again.
See, I obviously, as a huge like horror head here, my feeling is it's the best movie that I've seen this year. I probably will watch it again at some point. I think I need to like not do that for at least like a year or so. Like it's then that I need like a break
Yeah.
before returning to it. But I do feel like it's worth rewatching to like catch things I maybe didn't notice before, things that are like relevant to the theme. And yeah, I just like I can't if you make a great horror movie that like is all focused on one theme, essentially, of just like we are exploring grief, you know, and we're gonna do a great job doing that through the use of this horror convention. Like you got me. I love it. I'm there. I'm gonna put you very high on my list. Even though I would immediately rewatch Black Bag and Phoenician Scheme in any day. Those are both very fun movies. In comparison to Bring Her Back, I still got to put it like right up there with that. So, but you saw Phoenician Scheme too, yeah?
Yeah, and I had a great time.
Mm-hmm.
I laughed. I thought it was a really enjoyable time at the movies. I think some of the like themes and the deeper meaning that Wes Anderson was trying to get to with this movie felt flat for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah,
But if you put Wes Anderson and a heist movie together, I'm gonna have a good time, and I had a great time.
yeah, for sure. I think I did not see Asteroid City, but I have seen every other one of his movies, and this is the one that I've had the most fun at, that I've like enjoyed the most for quite a while. I feel like since maybe since Grand Budapest, which is now, was that 2015? I think it's like 10 years old or so at this point.
It's been a while,
It's
yeah.
been a while. I think this is the one that I have the most fun with, because exactly like you said, it's just like, this is a heist movie. And it's in Wes Anderson's style, and it's with his style of humor, and everybody's giving a pretty great performance, and there are a lot of really funny little individual bits. Uh, and yeah, you know, guy immediately blows up in a horrifying way in that movie.
And it made me die laughing. It made me die
I
laughing.
was like, oh, this is gonna be good, like right away.
This is gonna be great. This is gonna be so fun. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, Venetian's highly.
between that and the moment where Benicio del Toro fires his pilot in the middle of a crash landing and ejects him, I was like, dude, I'm here with it.
I'm in. I'm in. Yeah.
Of this, I'm here with like this sort of rapid fire jokes. I think you are right about like some of the emotional notes maybe not hitting as well. I do think that there are times where Wes Anderson's writing style doesn't necessarily lend itself to like, here are a bunch of different characters who all have distinct personalities and are all like, so like the moments where we're all like maybe growing as characters and like the emotions kind of come out are not necessarily always going to hit, because like everyone kind of talks the same, everyone kind of seems like they have the same ish personality, and like I think when it was Benicio del Toro and his daughter specifically, I feel like they're both giving the nun daughter, they're both giving like good enough performances that some of those moments worked for me and some didn't. But the fact is, like, they're both just like deadpan doing the lines in a rapid fire way, like everyone else is, you know.
And it's, I think my thing with Wes Anderson, and when he tries to get kind of that emotionalness to it, the actors still are all deadpanning, and I'm sure that's what he wants.
Yeah.
Right. Like I completely get why the actors are doing this. It just that deadpan really works for me in comedy when you're trying to get emotional and you're trying to get like real themes across. That deadpan just, it doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think for some people it works really well, and for some people it doesn't. And I don't know why. I feel like this is a good like deep dive conversation for us at some point to have, which we should not have now. But I feel like it was either my own youth or there was something different about his first couple of movies where I felt those emotions stronger when he went for them in his first several films. And I think at a certain point I stopped feeling it as much as his sort of like directing career has gone on. Which is not to say he never hits it, but like it feels much less consistent that he does hit those like emotional beats. And yeah, I don't know. That could genuinely just be I was like 12. I was 13, you know, and like I just was much more likely to be open to whatever emotional thing was happening on screen, like the characters in the Royal Tenenbaums or something. But yeah, I think we're both in the same spot. Like there are things that are maybe a little bit about Phoenician Scheme, but like very highly recommend overall. It's really fun.
Oh yeah, yeah, totally agree. And I don't feel like I have much else to say beyond that.
No, me either. Because it's just supposed to be fun. I don't think it. I genuinely don't think it's supposed to be a movie you spend a hell of a lot of time dissecting and being like, what did he mean when he had them win that basketball game to settle their contract dispute? We don't need to go into that.
It's just supposed to be goofy. Yeah.
Did you have anything that you want to like recommend or talk about in terms of stuff you've seen or read or watched or whatever?
I think the movie that I've seen the most recently that I think works for this is me and a friend of mine got to go see F1 the other day,
Ooh, yeah.
and oh boy, it is a great sports movie.
Oh,
If you like sports movies, you will love this movie. Uh the driving scenes are so slick, so good. There is good conflict between the two main characters that for the most part is very fun. Um Brad Pitt really phones in a lot of his scenes. It's pretty obvious that Brad Pitt, somebody was like, "Hey Brad Pitt, come come and drive some F1 cars real fast, and every once in a while you'll have to perform some dialogue." And Brad Pitt was like, "I'm in. Yes, absolutely." Uh, but he is not winning an Oscar in this movie. Does not deserve it. Um, but oh man, I think actually F1 will probably eat on some of the technical categories.
mm.
Because like as a feat of and like obviously director of Top Gun Maverick, but like
Oh,
as a feat of movie making, I don't think I've been like this impressed by things moving really fast since Top Gun Maverick.
all right. That's good. Okay. So I'm definitely going to see that now. I kept,
Yeah.
I kept kind of going back and forth on like whether I was going to go see it in theaters. I mostly was leaning towards it just because it feels like the type of movie that would be awesome in a theater. Um, but I was also watching that trailer being like, I don't know, I'm not like seeing any scenes here where like Brad Pitt's talking on screen where I'm like, this is looks like a really interesting plot or something. You know, I wasn't like,
You
yeah,
and you will not walk out of the theater thinking that at all, but you will walk out of that theater going like, you know, it's really cool. Cars going real fast. That was dope. Like that is just, yeah. It's a super fun time.
mhm,
Highly recommend seeing it in IMAX, the biggest version possible.
mhm.
I saw it in IMAX. It was super fun.
Yeah, uh, yeah. I'll take. Weirdly, she's been more vocal. Like we see a trailer for it every once in a while for it, and she's like, I'll go see that. That seems good." And I'm like, is this like Brad Pitt's really hot? Like, what's going on? Not
Also,
even more interesting.
also,
Mhm,
I can't remember who the female lead in that is.
mhm,
But no, I would like the three leads, all very attractive human beings.
mhm,
Like,
mhm.
oh man,
That helps. That helps the sports movie. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah. So
That's money.
so it's Brad Pitt, it's Carrie Condon, and then the young upstart driver.
Mhm.
His name is Damson Idris. Man, that guy has a smile that will melt your heart. Oh my god, he is very attractive man.
Yeah, yeah.
And then there's also Javier Bardem, which is
Oh my god.
he's always good looking.
Yeah. Gee.
And he's walking around in these like Italian suits and like he's just
Okay.
looking fantastic.
Yeah. No,
Uh
no, we're putting in some high fashion in this movie as well. Ten and some nice Italian suits. This just feels like one for the guys. You know, it feels like a movie for the
yeah, oh yeah.
you know. It's like let's go see a high class sports movie about fast cars and Italian suits, starring some distinguished gentlemen and a hot lady. But yeah, I'm definitely down, especially actually knowing that it's the Top Gun Maverick director, which I didn't realize for some reason. Um, that was the case. All right. I mean, is it time? Do you have anything else you want to recommend, or is it time to go to?
I I think it's about that time.
Uh,
Let's talk about okay. First off, I just want to say this.
mhm.
28 years later is my favorite movie of the year so far.
Okay. Okay. You know what?
It has taken the number one
I
ranking.
didn't add it in
It
the
took it.
rankings yet. I didn't add it in. So when I read that earlier, it was not considering this stuff as of yet. So Uh, maybe you'll help me put it into the rankings for me as we go.
Maybe.
Um, so before we get into it, though, do we have any like theme song or like little break for like? Do we have a thing that we want to do before?
Do we have a theme song?
No,
If
there
you
we
haven't
go.
written a theme song, we certainly don't have a theme
Yeah,
song.
what I'm asking is, should we have a theme song or like something that's like before the main event? You know, like a little like kind of thing that's just like signals the main.
If you want to make one, Alec, you make one. I 100%. This is definitely a you adventure. This is not nothing to do with this.
I'm gonna do it. I will try and do it to make a little like, and now we get to the main movie kind of thing. And I promise you, it will not just be me going.
I kind of want it to be that now, though. Just
I
you making mouth
might
noises.
do that and put some like orchestration behind it. All right, but anyway, back to the movie. This is your favorite movie this year.
This is my favorite movie of the year.
Okay.
And I not only is it my favorite movie of the year, it is the most creative and thoughtful legacy sequel of all time.
I think I agree.
Like other legacy sequels need to look at this movie and the way it expands on this world and be like, that's what we need to be shooting for.
Yes.
So, and I think maybe I jumped the gun because I'm so excited to talk about this movie. But maybe we should talk a little bit about do you have a relationship with the 28 franchise?
Yes.
Like
100%.
Okay.
Yeah. So I like, obviously I've mentioned before I am a huge horror nerd, but like when this movie came out, 2002, I think. So
28 days? Yeah, around then.
I think it was 2002. I think I saw that movie 4 times in theaters, something close to that. And it was like 3 or 4 times in theater, which had not been a thing that I had done, I think, since like I was a child and The Lion King was out, and I kept being like, "Mom, let's go back and see The Lion King again," and she was like, "Fine," you know. So this is like, and also just a good age for like a cool zombie movie to come out, because I'm like 13, 14 years old, you know, and so I loved this movie. It was also like, I had just at the time started listening to the band Godspeed You Black Emperor, who's like, the scene where he's walking through London is set to one of their songs. And so like that movie started, and immediately it had like a band that I was super into playing in the background, and I was like, these people get me on a personal level. Like, these are people who like the stuff I like, making a cool movie, you know? And so I was like, that was one of my favorite movies. I think it still kind of ranks very high up for me as like a personal kind of horror, at least, favorite, in terms of films I've seen. I really, really love the way that movie sort of like turns once they get to the sort of third act, with Frank dying and the sort of soldiers aspect of it coming into play. The ending piece, with that like incredible score, uh, you know, kind of playing as he's like running around, basically like massacring all the soldiers in order to save Hannah and Selena. Incredible. Like, I love that movie. As far as 28 Weeks Later goes, which is, I think, a couple years later that comes out, I remember the first 10 minutes of that movie being awesome. And they similarly score it with that same song from the ending of 28 Days Later. So it started, it already had the same like cool soundtrack. There was cool zombie action. I was like, this is sick. And then I don't remember absolutely anything that happens in that movie after those 10 minutes. And I know this because I went to see 28 Weeks Later at the Alamo Draft House. And they have a really great pre-show where if you're seeing like something that is a sequel, they typically will like tell you in a little recap what happened in the last movies. So they did a recap of 28 days and then they did a recap of 28 weeks. And as they were going through 28 weeks, I kept turning to my wife and being like, Idris Elba was in that movie? Jeremy Rose Byrne was in that movie? Jeremy Renner was in that movie? I was like, none of this. It's all gone. Like, what happened? You know? So I don't know if that movie is good or not. I'm assuming not, based on the fact that I remember none of
it. It's fine.
Okay.
You're not gonna have a bad time with 28. So like you honestly, if I put, because like 28 Days Later was filmed like super cheaply, right?
Yeah.
Like if I had
mini
an under
or mini DV cameras like throughout, like
yeah. If I had like an under $5 million category of the best movies, it would be up there. Like 28 Days Later is legitimately like probably not like top 10 for me, but like top 20 probably favorite films of all time.
Yeah.
I love that movie. I loved the way that it really took the genre of like these zombie movies, and I think for the first time, or one of the first times, was like, no, but the real bad guy is going to be each other. Right? That's the real like once society has kind of burned down, like you're going to be more concerned about the person next to you than about these zombies. And like it's just all like and like the scene where they're about to start like raping Selena is like burned into my brain. It is like one of the most haunting and crazy scenes of all time.
Yeah.
And just in general, 28 Days Later, just a phenomenal movie. That's just the only way to describe it.
Yeah.
28 Weeks Later is fine. It is.
We don't need to.
Because I watched it before going to 28 Years Later because I couldn't remember any of it. And I found it for free on like Pluto or something. And I walked away going like being more nervous about 28 Years Later after watching it because I was like, oh, did they really not know what to do with this? Yeah. But like it's a perfectly fine zombie film. The end.
Like it's
like there's just nothing.
If it weren't connected to 28 Days Later, I think legitimate chance I would be sitting here being like, oh, that one's kind of a hidden gem. Yeah, like people don't really people don't really remember that one, but it's really good actually. You know? But like
it's a really fun watch. I don't understand why it got more.
Yeah.
But it did. I think it did have all of the hauntings of a sequel that got way more money, but lost focus.
Totally. And initially, I actually thought that, you know, after seeing 28 Years Later, I was like, man, there's no way Danny Boyle and Alex Garland had much to do with 28 Weeks Later, is there? But like they like both executive produced it. So like, yeah,
but they didn't direct, they didn't write,
right?
They didn't have much to do with it.
Yeah, it's hard to know how much influence EPs have on movies. You know, there are times when it feels like they do. Like I feel like Sam Raimi produces stuff sometimes, and I'm like, yeah, he kind of like gives Sam Raimi Productions like a general vibe. You know, like he kind of makes sure there's a certain quality to it. But you can be a pretty hands-off EP and just sort of get the like credit because you were the original creator. So
yeah. So neither of them. So the director was Juan Carlos Fresnadillo, who I don't know who that is.
No, maybe.
And neither of them have a writing credit. The co-wrote by 3 people. None of them are the 2 guys who created 28 Days Later.
It really does seem like it was a but let's move let's move away from 28 weeks because, as far as I can tell, I think 28 weeks later is pretty much ignored in terms of the timeline here between 28 and
There's not
28.
yeah, there's not well, I don't think there's much in terms of either of the first two movies in this movie.
Right. But specifically what I mean is 28 weeks later uh ends with like these shots of like the infection has spread to
Yeah, no,
like America to
28
France. And I don't remember if that's really addressed in 28 years outside of the fact that it's clear that the UK is still under quarantine and that they
I
have like both.
so when I watched 28 weeks later,
Mhm.
I did not think it spread beyond the UK. I thought it was confined to the island.
So the only thing is at the end, I feel like there's a quick shot, and I saw this in the recap of
Oh, I
zombies
must have
running
missed
in
this.
front of the Eiffel Tower.
Totally missed
I
that.
think
You might be right. You're probably right.
I swear that
I may have
if it's,
zoned out by that
it's
point.
honestly, it's not like it's a big deal, but like I think that when they went to write this movie, they were like, forget that. Like we don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that movie also ends with
Yeah.
the little boy gets bit. So he's a carrier, but he's like immune or whatever. But he could.
But he's the immune one, but it is like unclear. Like it is unclear if like this kid is going to be the reason they get a cure. Like
Right.
that kind of a thing.
Right.
Is still like in play in 28 weeks later.
Totally. Yeah. Anyway, so for the most part, it's ignored. 28 years later, I think you should start with. Do you want to go through? Like,
I don't think we need to go through. I think we could just like highlight some of the things like
that we like,
that we liked, because like there's a couple of things. Like, first off, I absolutely loved, for lack of a better word, the lore.
Yeah.
That the future zombies have they've created within this community of zombies, right? Because like 30 years goes by, they have to start like figuring out how to survive and stuff, and it's interesting to think that like they've gotten to a point, they've evolved to a point where they're only like they care about the brains, they want the brains, right? Obviously, but like that's not their only thing. They're reproducing now. They're creating other things, and I think this is the first time we've ever seen a movie take the zombie idea and be like, what happens 50 years after?
Yeah.
And I think
feel like
think they did that really well.
I think there might be like a Romero movie somewhere along the line that's like set in kind of the future, but I don't actually. Yeah, I'm almost positive that one of the last Romero movies does go into the future, and there is something in that about zombies evolving. But it was not a great movie, and it was not particularly like highly seen or well reviewed or anything. And they don't do nearly as much, I think, that is cool. Because obviously I don't even remember it that well as this movie does. But in terms of like movies that have done this, the list is potentially just one other movie. And that's pretty amazing, especially because that other movie like, kind of probably didn't do it very well.
Yeah. And so like, because like first they show you the pregnant zombie, right?
Yeah.
And at first I was like, that's so clever, because what would happen to a person if they were pregnant and then became a zombie?
Yeah.
Right? They would just look pregnant for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
That's so clever. No, I've never seen that done before. That's so interesting.
Yeah.
I love that they chose to do that.
And
then when they were like, actually, nope, she got impregnated by another zombie, I was like, what?
And the way they
Like,
did it was all like which I got to commend for the film for this in general. There's a lot of incredible visual storytelling where there is no like,
oh yeah,
there's no dialogue set up, there's no anything. You first see that pregnant zombie, it's just like a cutaway shot to zombies hanging out, you know?
yeah, yeah.
And she's just sort of in there. Like, there's no particular like, hey, look at this pregnant zombie. And then people are like, wait, whoa, is that zombie pregnant or something? Like, no, they just show you it. And then later on it comes back in a way that if you saw it, which you almost definitely did, because they did a good job like center framing her, but not drawing too much attention. When it comes back again, it's just like, you understand immediately what's happening.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Without anybody really saying anything. That was also a harrowing scene. Absolutely, yeah, terrifying. Yeah, no, I love that. I also got to add in terms of the lore. I love the like, some zombies essentially evolved to be like almost slug-like creature. They're just like ground feeders. They just go along the ground eating like worms and stuff, and that's how they survived. And others are like still the fast zombies that you've seen before. And then also there are some people who like basically became insane super zombie alpha zombies.
Okay, I have a question about the alphas.
Yeah.
And I wish I could ask Alex Garland this question.
Mm-hmm.
Did he become the alpha because he had a giant schlong? Or was he the biggest and the strongest zombie and then grew the giant schlong? I don't know. I don't know which one happened. I
thought you were going to be like, did he become the alpha because he was like a linebacker? Or was it like a Hulk situation where it was like, this dude can look like, pre-Steve Rogers Captain America, but then like the rage like pumps him up, and now he's this huge dude. I in no way expected that question to be like about the penis size. But also fair game. Fair game. This is really why, if anything, this is why this podcast needs to be famous. Is because we will ask.
We ask the real questions.
We will get Alex Garland, incredibly celebrated filmmaker and writer, into a room and immediately be like, buddy, what's up with the dicks? What's going on?
No, but like this was a choice.
Yeah.
This is not, they did not find an actor and he just so happened to have a huge dick. That is not what happened. I looked this up. That is a prosthetic dick. And they actively were like, the alpha, we need to put a giant fake dick on this alpha. All of this is true, everyone. This was not a coincidence.
What did you?
This was a conscious decision made by the filmmakers.
But go back. What did you, when you looked this up, what did you type into Google?
No, it was on it was in the big picture.
It was in the big picture.
If you listen to the big picture episode, they talk about how it was a prosthetic.
Okay.
I didn't Google search anything. I would be terrified to do that.
Yeah, I was like, did you go into incognito browser, like turn on safe search, and then be like, giant dick zombie? What? Because there's no way, with the world we live in, that somebody hasn't uploaded some kind of drawing of giant dick zombie doing something inappropriate. Okay, That's awesome, though. I love that this was a choice um, to give the zombie a giant dick. And, like, yeah, I mean, anyone with eyes saw him running and was like, that's a big dick flopping around, you know? Like, that's. It's funny, even in a scene where you're like horrified for like a 12-year-old child and his mother, like that dude running, the first thing on my mind was still like, man, good for him. You know, that's no wonder he impregnated the lady, you know? The lady zombie. I get it. Anyway, so yes, why did they so you don't know anything about the reasoning. You just know they did.
No, no, I just know that they used. Actually, I just looked it up. Uh, the reasoning for using a prosthetic
Mhm.
is actually child laws around child actors. So
Oh,
if you are a child actor, you are not allowed to be around nude
a naked adult.
people,
So
like
yeah,
a naked adult in the movie.
okay.
So that's why they use the prosthetic. I just looked this up.
Okay. Okay.
I could be wrong. I don't
But
know.
but
But it's still a decision to make it giant.
yes.
Like,
Yeah. Like it's still you could still make a prosthetic that is reasonably close to the penis size of
is
the actor.
average.
Yeah. Or the actor. Yeah. It was still someone being like, hey buddy, hey Frank, look how big
Maybe
look how big
we should make this pretty big.
uh
Uh,
yeah. I mean I hope it was just like a rogue prosthetic guy who made a choice. But I like to think that it was like Boyle or Garland, you know, uh, as well. Just
being like, I wish there was a moment with Boyle and Garland
mhm.
who saw a like normal size prosthetic and they were like, no, you don't understand.
No,
This is the alpha.
this,
All right, like,
this is the alpha. This is porn rules. Like it needs to be a certain size to show up on camera with. Okay, you know,
no.
just size it up.
Uh,
I love that this is the conversation. This movie. This movie's so good and deep, and like such a meditation on like death, and like and grieving, and like what a
these are the
world.
important questions to
Yeah,
ask.
but we're just like, man, what a big dick.
What a big dick
What
choice.
a big dick.
What a big dick choice.
Actually, that's a great way to frame this movie. I feel like this movie has so many big dick choices that have to do with literal dicks and not literal dicks, you know? Like, I feel like this movie, to me, the thing that happened to me when I watched this movie. So obviously, the movie begins where I'm not going to go through the whole thing. We're just doing a broad, quick overview here. The movie begins with a little boy named Jimmy in his house in the countryside, and his mom like puts him and all of his little cousins or sisters or whatever in a room, and then zombies immediately eat all of the other children. That's a big dick choice, like right away.
That is,
To
you are
just,
correct.
to
Just having the first scene be a bunch of children getting destroyed by
is
zombies
that
is a
major,
crazy choice, and basically says to the entire audience, get ready.
yeah, absolutely.
Like, we are not messing around.
Like anything can fucking happen in this movie. Okay, like this is the
Yeah.
first moment of film. It's just like blood splattering in your eyes from tiny children who are getting eaten by zombies. And then everyone dies, and he runs to his father, who is a priest who thinks it's the rapture. That is also a kind of a big dick choice. That's a cool moment in that movie to be like, there might be some religious zealots who definitely see the end of the world no matter what it is. It's the rapture. cool idea. The whole time that's happening, there is like a weird music, like there's a weird needle drop going on. I don't know what the song is,
I
but the song tonally is a little too like for like what's going on. And so immediately I was like, this is weird. Like this is a weird thing happening.
I don't even remember the music. I did not register the music
I
part. I
immediately
was just
viewed
like,
it. I immediately was
oh,
like, because obviously everything was happening. There's a lot going on. But if we rewatch this movie, I swear that music is like a little bit too like rock and roll. Like here we go, kind of like fun times for that scene, for the harrowing nature of that scene, especially in comparison to the musical tone being set by like the first two movies, which is very like Godspeed You Black Emperor, dour kind of like post rock that is serious. Um, and so immediately I was like, that was a weird opening. And then the whole movie happens, and I love the whole movie so much. I'm so into it. And then Jimmy
yes, let's talk about this ending. Jimmy coming back, baby. Like he never left.
and
Like he never left.
with like a grill and an upside down cross and a whole bunch of weird, like Swedish looking ninjas in Adidas tracksuits show up.
The Teletubby ninjas.
The
The Teletubby ninjas.
they show up to a soundtrack similar to that first song that I was a little confused by, and it's all making sense now. But also, I'm so dumbfounded by what's happening. After this very serious movie is basically, for the most part, very serious. There's just been this beautiful scene of like him putting his mom's skull on top of this tower of other skulls and facing her towards the sunrise, and it's beautiful. It's a gorgeously shot, incredible thing. And then fucking Jimmy shows up. And I think I spent like an hour and a half just like, my wife was trying to talk to me about this movie. And I was like, I can't think of anything except for Jimmy right now. Like, I just have so many questions about Jimmy and why that was the end of the movie. And I did look up, obviously. So there is a sequel coming out that's already in production. And that will, I suppose, be all about Jimmy and Spike and their further adventure.
And I believe Cillian Murphy is going to be in that movie.
Oh shit! Okay,
is my understanding.
Okay, because I had forgotten. I gotta admit, I had forgotten the first scene so much by the time it got to Jimmy reappearing that when there was someone like behind him, clearly, and I was like, somebody's gonna save him. I thought it was going to be like Cillian Murphy and Naomi Harris and Hannah from the first movie. Like that was my
I think a lot of people felt that way.
You're maybe supposed to feel that, right? Like that. Like this is the typical legacy sequel shit that they do. They finally are going to bring back in. I mean, I just seen Karate Kid Legends. It took like an hour for Ralph Macchio to show up on screen, and the entire time we were like, "Where the fuck is Ralph Macchio? Like, why is he not in this movie yet? Like, it should just be here by now." But that was a very typical legacy sequel. This movie was like, we know you think that might happen, but it's fucking Jimmy! And then you spend like a minute and a half being like, who is Jimmy? And also, I love Jimmy! What's happening?
I love Jimmy. I am so excited to spend more time with Jimmy. I am ecstatic about this next movie. I cannot wait.
Yep. And
which I believe it's already filmed.
Okay.
And it's coming out in like 6 months.
Oh wow. So this is Okay. Well, I mean, part 2 of this podcast in 6 months as well, for sure. But yeah, I still have a hard time. It's days later. I have a hard time still thinking about this movie without almost exclusively focusing on my curiosity about Jimmy. And so I feel like at this moment, I need you to like, if there's another thing you want to talk about,
I do. I
yeah,
do. So first off, um I loved how well this this movie kind of like took you on a journey that you were not expecting,
mm,
right? So like I remember when they were leaving, so when Spike and his dad were leaving the first off, I love the idea of the village kind of going back to the middle to like
or something like that.
yeah, exact
Yeah, they're all arched.
like going back to that I, I love that whole setup. I love the setup of like this guy being like, my son is ready to be a man.
Yeah,
Like, um, and when they left that village, I thought the whole movie was going to be the two of them being in
100%.
like doing zombie stuff, and that was the
Yeah,
movie.
I thought it was going to be like,
And
oh,
so,
they discover things that other people have in common because Spike's curious about things. But when they see the fire, it's like, oh shit, like that's something's going to happen where they have to go to the fire and then they find other people and like who knows from there. But you know,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. I'm 100% with you. And again, I think they smartly set it up and edited the trailer with really only stuff from that first act for the most part. That's
I
Ray.
I was just gonna bring up the trailer.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes, a trailer that works, that doesn't give away the whole fucking
yeah.
movie. Like, oh my god, it's
Finally,
about time.
yeah.
Like,
Even
oh
yeah, I mean, honestly, even that the use in the trailer, which I was surprised was in the film itself, of like the Rudyard Kipling poem "Boots," uh, being like sort of uh, creepy sort of overture that's like over a lot of that first act in random little bits uh, is is so effective in the trailer and it's so good in the movie. And
it's so good in the movie.
before we even go any further in the first act, we gotta just say the editing and the sound editing and some of the like the direction of the cinematography in that first act alone is like
The cinematography is beautiful.
it's
It's
mind blowing.
beautiful.
Like
Mind-blowingly beautiful with the worst camera they could find.
I know because
And
it's
it's breathtaking.
right? Like I think they did
Yes,
the thing
yes.
where they
This was filmed on an iPhone.
in circle, like a circle, which is
Yep.
done like whenever somebody shoots somebody with a bow, the way they use that is so cool by essentially
It's so good.
doing rapid fire editing from one angle to another to see like the arrow fly and go through that person's like head or neck or whatever. Awesome looking. And that scene genuinely like that scene I think that ends that first act before the party where they the house collapses and they have to run across the bridge, the like land bridge that is not fully like emerged from the low tide. And you see the birds and the alpha like simultaneously like come after them. That is so gorgeous and terrifying at the same time. Like I there's I can't think of a scene in recent memory that visually will stick in my head more than that one, actually. Like, and
Yeah, 100%. Yes.
and how well done. Like every bit of like action, how scary it felt, how just like man, everything works so well in this,
Yep.
and in a way that I was just sort of like, I don't know where this movie goes from here, but it's already like it's already one of the best things this year. Just
Yeah. Oh,
from the first
just
alone.
yep. And then I loved the whole bit of the village and the party and this guy trying to boast about his son and his son kind of like really becoming a man in that moment of like not trusting his dad anymore in all phases of it, in the speech to the entire town, in the infidelity, all of it I thought was so, and then coming down and like yelling at his dad and being so pissed. um
And the scene with the
like,
grandfather is great as well, where he's like really
oh yeah, oh yeah,
that he's lying even about more stuff, you know, about the fire and about potentially being a doctor, you know, all of
yep, yes. The
it.
one My one note for this movie,
Mm-hmm.
okay, we go from this kid being terrified of going back out there, of feeling like he failed. And then the next scene, he's going out there with his mom, who can't protect him at all. And we needed something there.
Yeah.
That that was a leap that someone took that I didn't understand it at all. Because like I get he's so pissed at his dad. Maybe he goes and lives with a cousin for a minute, for like a couple nights or something.
Mm-hmm.
But he went from I failed. I failed. I couldn't help you. You're the reason why I'm alive, and I'm mad at you for lying and boasting about me to everyone that I didn't deserve. To immediately, I'm going back out there with my mom. And that whole thing, we needed some kind of character development to explain that I was really feeling like we missed.
Yeah, for sure. Um, so hold on one second. Because there's a little thing that popped up here that says trying to reconnect to make sure you have a stable connection.
It's been it's been popping up for me every once in a while too. Just I think we're fine.
You think we're okay?
I think so. If we don't, we'll find out. Whatever.
Yeah, it'll be. I agree. I agree with that. I think even like just a quick visual kind of cue scene that they're so good at in this movie. Of like he sees the fire, the smoke from the fire. Yeah. He's like looking at it. You can see how scared he is. And then like with some resolve he grabs the bow. Something. You know, like you just
Yeah.
anything that's a little quick whatever, you know. Maybe his mom, maybe even just sort of like he's staring out at the fire and his mom like, throws up and really looks like she's about to die. And he gets scared. And he's like, we got it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Agreed. Anything would have worked. And obviously he does automatically become like a better archer when confronted the zombies as well out there, which whatever. Like it's fine. It's you got to do it. You know, kind of loved, but wasn't totally immediately on board with the like I will say the one other little nitpick, and all these are nitpicks. This is a great movie. A little nitpick. I feel like the soldiers there could have been set up a tiny bit better as well, because that is a little bit of an abrupt cut. You kind of see the boat out there at some point, and the dad's like, "Oh, they're patrolling the shoreline or whatever." And then all of a sudden, there's just like a hard cut to like soldiers are being chased by zombies, and you're kind of like, "Who the are these?"
I will. I was confused when the soldiers all of a sudden showed up.
Yeah.
And then I like remembered it, but like that's like half the movie.
Yeah.
That goes from pointing out the ship to a bunch of soldiers being chased.
Mm-hmm.
And that there is that moment where you're like, what? But I will say the payoff to that,
Mm-hmm.
of the soldier talking to Spike and like showing him about the world that's continued on outside of the UK
Mm-hmm.
was hysterical
It was
and
awesome.
was like I will always remember the bit of like, what's wrong with her lips? Why is she doing that when like she's just posing? Like
It's just his girlfriend who like maybe has gotten some Botox at some point or something.
probably got some Botox,
And
is posing, and he's just like, is she having an allergic reaction? What is this? Like, it's like so weird. I loved that part.
yeah, that entire part with that soldier was great. Of course, bringing in soldiers in order to have more people to be killed off by zombies is also appreciated. And you get two great, alpha zombie killing soldiers predator style by essentially ripping their head and stuff. Pretty great for the gore hound in
Oh,
me. Pretty
two thumbs up on that one. Yeah,
choices there. And within this section too, like I say, continuously, like the way that they did his mom Jodie Comer's like mind, basically the way that they showed her mental state by just having these like quick flashes of things. Just like showing like flashing to sort of her in a field with like someone, clearly her dad, like holding her shoulders kind of behind her, as you see like she's imagining like her father is there with her. Or I think the first time they did it was actually still back in the first act, but it was just this like quick little thing of like she wakes up and you see a quick flash of what looks like a normal British suburb, and then you have her say like, oh, like, did your father go out to get us coffee or something? I forget the exact line, but it's something that clearly is like relating to like if the world was normal. And then there's a quick flash of like after years of decay, that same suburb, and she goes like, oh, never mind, right? Like that is such good like visual storytelling through editing, and they continuously do that with her mental state through the movie, and it's awesome. It's so well done. It's so cool. Um, I mean, yeah, just like all of this is obviously they needed these shots to be there, so like incredibly well planned out by probably Garland and Boyle. But like hats off to the editing on this as well, to just be like nailing every little bit like that, to make you very firmly understand like where this person whose mind is all over the place is mentally. Um, And then, man, Ray Fiennes. Is that how you say his name? Ray Fiennes? I think it's Ray Fiennes.
I think it's fine.
Yeah, yeah. Coming in.
Just knocks it out of the park.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
comes in and steals the scene. And I so anytime he is in a movie, I am happy.
Mm-hmm.
I am ecstatic. I love him, but I also feel like during these scenes specifically, we got to give some credit to to the young Alfie Williams who plays Spike.
Yeah.
Because I mean, Fiennes comes in and he takes over the scene and he carries the scene. But like Alfie's hanging with them.
Yeah.
He's not up to his level, don't get me wrong.
No.
No. And no one expects him to be, but he is hanging with him and watching the part where like Fiennes is telling him that like his mom has cancer and there's nothing he can do. Like Alfie is capital A acting, and he's like, I can't imagine he's older than 15. You know what I mean? Like he is really
no. I mean, he's playing what 12 maybe or something 13.
He's playing 12. I'm looking it up right now how old he actually is. But like just completely 14. He's actually 14. So when they were filming this, he was probably 13 years old.
Wow.
And he is great.
Yeah. Yeah. That's one of the better than like child acting, essentially, because I think you're still definitively a child at 13. Child acting performances for a while.
Ever.
I mean, yeah, yeah.
Like it's him and it's The Sixth Sense. I'm totally
Oh,
blanking on
Haley
his
Joel
name.
Osment. You know,
It's him and Haley Joel.
yeah,
And if you tell me Alfie's number one, I believe you. Like I'm not going to argue with that.
yeah. I mean, you got to put in like like the girl from Whale Rider who won an Oscar at like or whatever. I think Anna Paquin also won an Oscar at super young age. I'm sure those are all great child performances as well. Having not seen those movies, um, but we should. Have you seen Whale Rider? I should see Whale.
I've definitely seen it.
Yeah.
I also
years, I think. Yeah.
like it's a good movie.
Never.
It's a good movie. It'll probably warm your heart a little bit.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
it's not going to blow your mind.
For sure. All of that said, Spike is so good in this, and he is acting alongside like consistently great actors. Like he is holding up alongside Jodie Comer and Aaron Taylor Johnson in great finds. Like those are all some of the better actors like working today. And yeah, like he's not dragging those scenes down in any way. And like that should be good enough for a child acting performance. But the fact that he's like elevating those scenes as well is amazing. And yeah, that whole bit of like her basically passing away, holy shit,
I cried.
Yeah.
I was in tears in a zombie movie. Like
Yeah.
it was beautiful. It was perfect.
And again, like shot beautifully. The like kind of like shot, the aerial shot they have as it's sort of happening with like these like fire sparks kind of coming from below, and you're like focused on this like bone monument. Like everything, all these incredible like cinematography and music and editing, like everything in it is great. And it's honestly, it's probably the best scene I would say out of any movie this year. I'm struggling to think of so totally different sides of the spectrum, but maybe the interrogation scene in Black Bag rivals it in terms of enjoyment for me, but very, very different scene.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd say that being such a like incredible like emotional closing to that movie, and it being the end of this journey. And Spike is even saying it. He's like, it took so long for us to get here. Like it took so long for us to find you. Like this is it. This is all. And for them to essentially be like, yes, the way that we're ending this is like everyone has to die, and it's inescapable in this world. If this is the post-apocalypse, like there are no ways to come back from cancer. There is no way for you to not die early and horribly, usually.
Yeah.
And I mean, what an insane of a movie that's, And I will admit, the one thing I did, as I was watching it, the whiplash from that to Jimmy, I was a little like, do I like this? And it took me an hour to be like, nah, man, that rules. Like, I do.
And I think it does rule. I think it does.
I think it rules. That it's like that, and then a quick him bringing like the baby back to the village. A sort of beautiful like life death cycle thing going on. His father realizing that he's left again. and like running out to scream, after him for him to come back. But it's too late in the time. It's already coming. All that is so awesome, and he's out there, and you're like, oh man, he's gonna be just having his own adventure, and like this is really him becoming a man. Like him in the party after going out with his father is not him becoming a man. Like this, going through loss, going through like these hardships and not being sort of like sheltered away from the world is like what kind of brings you into that realm of like you are an adult. Um, and then to just be like, also, sometimes adults are crazy and do karate and have long hair and are and have fun. And it doesn't matter if it's the zombie apocalypse or not. You can still be a roving gang of fucking Teletubby ninjas. I love this movie. I love it.
uh,
So I don't know if you have anything else to say. Otherwise, I am going to see if I know where to put this in my rankings.
no, I could vamp for a minute
If you want,
while
if
you
you have anything, if you got anything a
do
little
you
more to
like.
hit, like, just hit it.
Well, what's your? I mean, like, what's your number one movie this year? Before ranking 28 years later,
Yeah,
what is your number
I
one
think I'm
currently?
putting Bring It.
That makes
Yeah.
sense. That makes sense.
And there are obviously some similarities between the two. Like, this sort of like struggling with letting someone go, you know, struggling with loss and acceptance and the process. Like that is a part of both of them.
Yeah, yeah,
I like Bring Her Back is I think sometimes a more harrowing movie. I think sometimes it has a script that feels like a little bit tighter, but that is also just like it is a smaller film that has a lot less to do. It obviously does not have any legacy sequel stuff to deal with at all. Um, doesn't really have to world build much at all. It's just sort of like here's these five-ish characters and like what's going on with them. Which is in many ways a much easier thing to do. So like I think that being said, there's so much that's a level of difficulty above and so much that's done well in 28 years later.
yeah,
I think I gotta give it the nod for that as being the best movie of the year so far because the degree of difficulty is so high consistently, like, you know, basically like upend our expectations of what's going to happen even within the film and what things are going to be like. I mean, all of it was just a consistent like, holy shit, what's happening now for for the third film in a franchise. You know,
yeah,
like yeah, yeah, and for it to be as fun and also then like make us cry. You know, and for Jimmy, man, and for the
and then bring Jimmy
and then
back.
they bring Jimmy back. And so I'd say, even if all of that made it a tie, for Jimmy and for the giant dick, I gotta give 28 years later my number one slot this year so far. I give it two giant dicks up. 2 out of 2 giant zombies.
most the most amount of giant zombie dicks
Yeah.
you could give.
You can
That's how many.
10 out of 10. However many you want. I don't care. How many giant zombie dicks can you picture? That many. How many I give to this movie.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. That's how I feel. And so I feel like you're with me on that. Yeah.
oh, I'm A. This is an A movie.
Mhm.
It's I want to say it's the best horror movie I've seen since Get Out. And like I know those are two very different movies, and it's hard to like it's hard to
Yeah.
to
It's Apple.
you know compare the two,
Whatever.
but like this like 28 Days Later is one of my favorite horror movies of all time.
Mm-hmm.
And this is I think just as good. I really do.
Very different
and
of the same quality. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I love this movie. I cannot wait to see it again. I've thought about seeing it again in a movie theater.
Yeah. Yeah. Which again,
because I loved it so much.
That rarely still for me happens. And again, I watched the original like 3 or 4 times in theater. And I'm with you. I might go back and watch it again. Just like having an idea of where it's going to go now, so I can try to find little details along the way that I might have missed the first time.
You just want to see the giant zombie dick again. Let's be honest.
Come on, we all know why I'm going back. You don't have to call me out. You know. We both have, you got the AMC A-list. I've got the Alamo Unlimited. We can both go see a giant zombie for free again.
We can both go as many times as we want, really.
See it as many times as we want to see it. You know?
Yeah.
And yeah, my God. I wonder what'll happen with that baby, too. I got so many questions that I'm like excited for them to address, you know? So I really hope the sequel is just as weird and original and outlandish as this one.
We're gonna find out in January. It's coming out in January.
Yeah,
so
okay, so
we are not gonna have to wait long to find out.
That's great. All right. I think unfortunately I have to get going to go pick up my wife, who is waiting for me after a driving lesson. So, but yeah, 28 days later, 28 years later, all of them, both of them, giant dick.
Both of them.
Love them. Highly recommend.
2 zombie dicks up.
2 zombie dicks erect in the sky.
way up.
Way up there. Higher up than you can imagine. I'm hitting the stop button right now.